Practice set 9. Use the sine formula to solve each triangle. Use examples 23 through 31 for reference. So in problem number 1, we're looking for, in this case, the angle measurement. We'll use this as our reference angle, and as with previous problems, we always start with labeling the sides of this right triangle, starting with the hypotenuse, the side opposite the right angle, the longest side. With A, our missing value, we'll use that as our reference angle. That means 5.3 will be our value for our opposite side, and labeling the third side with the term adjacent. Using the sine ratio, sine of an angle is equal to the opposite side length over the hypotenuse length, we'll plug in what we know. We're looking for the angle in this triangle. We are given an opposite value of 5.3 for that length, and the hypotenuse has a length of 8.8. The next step is to do the indicated division. We're going to simplify this fraction by taking the numerator, 5.3, and dividing it by 8.8 to give us a decimal value. We want to get A by itself, and to undo the sine, we will take the arc sine of each side. The arc sine of sine, since these are inverse operations, leaves us with angle A. On your calculator, oftentimes arc sine is symbolized with sine to the -1. For most calculators, you have to hit a second or an inverse key before you hit the sine key to get to the arc sine function. Putting this in your calculator and evaluating it, rounding it to the nearest tenth, you should find angle A has a measure of 37.0 degrees. Problem number 2 on practice set 9 gives us the following triangle, and to solve this using the sine formula, we'll use the acute angle that has the measurement given as our reference angle. Once we have our anchor, we can label the sides of our right triangle, starting with the hypotenuse, the side opposite the right angle, and the longest side. With A being 58 degrees, our reference angle, this side then will be labeled as opposite with the unknown length, and our third side will label adjacent. The sine formula is sine of the angle is equal to opposite length over the hypotenuse in a right triangle. Plugging in the information that's given, we need to know 2 of these 3 unknowns to solve this equation. We do know the angle measurement, so we'll replace A with 58 degrees. We're looking for the opposite. We'll use the variable that they've given in the problem, and the hypotenuse has a value of 14. We want to solve this equation for the variable. The variable is being divided by. To undo division, we will multiply, and to maintain equality, we will multiply both sides by 14. The 14s are going to cancel out on the right-hand side. 14 divided by 14 gives us a 1 times x, which is x. On the left-hand side, we will evaluate the sine of 58 degrees, which we find is 0.8480. And our last step then is to do the implied multiplication. We'll take that value and times it by 14, rounding our answer to the nearest tenth. You should find that the opposite side in this right triangle has a value of 11.9.